9 leadership principles that will make people want to follow you. Why should you listen to me? I was 15 years old. I was a follower. I used to consume so much content on social media. I was awkward. I used to have no friends. I couldn't communicate that well. And fast forward 5 years from that moment, I'm now 20 years old and I'm a leader. I'm a leader of people who follow me. I'm a leader that improves other people's life. I'm a leader. I'm improving other people's social skills. And in this picture, I met a friend in the gym. I talked to him and we became really great friends. We hang out for a couple of times and it has been great so far. So my promise to you in this video is that I will teach you how to become a better leader so people want to follow you. And just so you know, I'm still 20 years old. I don't have a lot of followers. And this is not me saying, oh, I have a lot of followers, you have to listen to me. I'm not perfect either. But I have gathered some experience. I have gotten some experience of leadership, and I just want to teach it to you, and I hope it helps you. I'm not perfect, so and I just teach you what I have just learned. So quick introduction. My name is Eric and I teach you what I have just learned. And I hope you find this video helpful and valuable. Subscribe right now to get notified when I upload more videos like this one. So this video is actually the last part of the book summaries that I do. So I summarized the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And the first part of the book is in this video, Top 3 Ways to Make Friends. It talks about the 3 fundamental techniques in handling people. The second part of the book, Top 6 Ways to Make People Like You, is in the second video, Top 6 Ways to Make People Obsessed with You. Then the third part is divided into 2 parts. So 6 ways to master communication right here, and 6 communication skills that will change your life. And all of these 4 videos, and you can find all 4 of these videos in my channel. And this video it will be the last part of the series. So before we start, I would like to ask you a question. You probably use Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and they call it followers. You have followers on Instagram, right? 200 followers, 300 followers, I don't know. You probably have hundreds of followers on Instagram. Now, let me ask you a question. Why do they call it followers? If you have 200 followers on Instagram, that means you are the leader of those 200 followers that follow you, because there is only a follower and a leader. And if these 200 people follow you on Instagram, that means you're the leader of these 200 people that follow you. So you probably said, oh, I'm not a leader. Oh, I don't know how to become a leader. Well, little do you know, you don't realize that you have become a leader all this time on Instagram. You're an influencer of these 200 people. You're a leader of these 200 people. So all of us are leaders. And it depends on us whether we want to grow our leadership skill or not. So part 4, be a leader. A leader's job often includes changing your people's attitudes and behavior. Some suggestions to accomplish this. Principle 1, begin with praise and honest appreciation. Begin with praise and honest appreciation before you criticize the other person. I want you to picture this. Here's a picture of a teacher that is teaching a student. And what do most teachers do? Most teachers punish and criticize their students when their students make a mistake. Let's say the answer should be option A, but the student answers the option B. Oh, the answer is A. You're so stupid. You're so dumb. Most teachers says that. Most teachers criticize their students because, well, students make a lot of mistakes, and some teachers, they're just so pissed off. And instead of giving praise and honest appreciation, they criticize the students directly. And what happens afterwards? The students don't improve, the students don't grow, and the students just don't get better grades. Or what about with parents? We argue with our parents almost every day. Do you know why that happens? Because we know that sometimes, as children, we know sometimes that our parents are wrong. Sometimes they are wrong and we are right. But they are the authority, they are your parents. If you tell your parents that they are wrong, what happens? You argue because no authority figure likes to be told that they're wrong. Imagine telling your parents, imagine telling your teachers, your lecturers, directly or indirectly, that they are wrong. You're going to get punished. You're going to argue. They're not going to like you, and they're going to lose your favor. And what about with your parents? You do something wrong. You didn't do the homework yesterday. You pissed them off. You got bad grades, and they punish you. They criticize you instead of giving you honest praise and appreciation. And what happens afterwards? You hate them more. You fight more, and your relationship gets worse. So instead of giving criticism and punishment to other people when they are wrong, like before you criticize someone, always begin with praise and honest appreciation. No matter how wrong the other person is, there's always something that you can praise that person on. There's always something that you can appreciate and tell that person on. Principle 2, call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Let's use the same picture. Let's use the same case. Usually the teacher will say, oh, good job on your test, but you made this mistake here, and you should correct this mistake. And the students actually like the teacher at first. Oh, she says good job. But the teacher makes a mistake. The teacher uses the word but instead of and. Oh, you do a good job on the test, but you make this mistake here, and I hope you correct this mistake next time. So the students feel good at first, but since the students hear the word but afterwards, the students then question the insincerity of the compliment. So at first he feels happy, oh, the teachers compliment me, good job. And afterwards, the students automatically feels sad because the teachers use the word but. Oh, but you make this mistake here. What you can do is change the word but to and. Instead of saying, oh, good job on the test, but you make this mistake, you can, instead of saying that, you can say this. Oh, you have done a great job on the test. And when you correct this part over here, you will get better grades and you will do better on the next test. See the difference? It sounds more pleasing to the ears. So you begin with praise and honest appreciation, and then you use the word and, not but, to point out the mistakes indirectly and give them the advice and feedback afterwards. It sounds nicer to the students' ears than you use the word but. Because when you use the word but, as soon as the students hear the word but, then he's like, oh, like it's like, oh, I'm not good enough. So change the word but to end. You have done a great job here, and it would be better when you do this thing after this. Principle 3, talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. I want you to look at this picture here. I'm a football fan, I'm a soccer fan, and this picture is beautiful. Do you know why? Because I don't know what they're saying in this picture. So the left person is Lionel Messi. He is arguably one of the best soccer player of all time. And the right person is Pep Guardiola. And Pep Guardiola is the coach of Messi at that time. If you look at this picture, what do you think? When I see this picture at the first time, my thoughts automatically says something along the lines of, oh, Pep Guardiola is saying something to Lionel Messi. Pep Guardiola is giving advice and feedbacks to Lionel Messi about how he can do better in the field, how he can do this strategy in the field to win the game. And I can just imagine Pep Guardiola says, oh, you should do this thing because I used to not do this thing and I made a mistake of doing this thing when I was younger. So I realized that you should do this other thing that is better and you should do this thing. In this picture, I just imagine Pep Guardiola talk about his own mistakes in the past that he made and told Messi, hey, this is the mistake that I've just made. I can just imagine Pep Guardiola says to Messi, I used to do this mistake when I was younger, when I used to play soccer. And I realized that this other way is better and you should do this other way and don't make my mistake because it's not good. You should do this way because it's better. What about with parents? What about with grandparents? When you spend time with your grandparents, your grandparents probably says to you a lot of times like, oh son, I used to do this mistake a lot of times and I really regret it and I hope you don't make the same mistakes as I did. Right? I can just imagine your grandparents says this to you a lot of times like, oh, I used to work hard. And I used to not spend enough time with my family. And I regret it. And I hope you don't make the same mistakes as I did. I hope you work hard. I don't mean to tell you not to work hard. It doesn't mean that you should not work hard. Yeah, work hard, but don't forget to spend time with your family. Because I used to do this mistake. I used to just work hard and provide for my family, but I don't spend enough time with my family. Then when they're not around, I regret it. So I hope you don't make the same mistake as I did. I can just imagine your grandparents said that to you. And what do I mean by this? The other person will be more likely to change their behavior when you talk about your own mistakes first. When you give advice, when you give feedbacks, when you tell people about, oh, you should do this to do better, people have their guards up. When you tell people what to do, when you tell people, oh, this is what you should do to do better, they automatically think, oh, who are you telling me what to do? Oh, who are you telling me what to do better? Like people guards automatically rises when you tell them what to do. So the one thing that you can do to lower their guards, lower their barriers, the way to make them more receptive to you is saying to them, hey, I used to do this same mistake and I want you to do this other thing because this other thing is better. I don't want you to make the same mistake as I did because it's not good. And I want you to do this thing because this is better. The other person will receive that subconsciously as, oh, he is not perfect either. He used to make the same mistake. And he's telling me not to do the same mistake. Oh, I like this guy, right? They're more receptive to you instead of telling them, oh, you should do this. When you do that, they're going to think, oh, who are you telling me what to do? But when you talk about your own mistakes first, before you criticize, the other person thinks, he's not perfect either. He also makes mistakes. Oh, I can learn from this guy, right? Principle 4, ask questions instead of giving direct orders. I want you to look at this picture of like this fat boss. Like when I see this picture, I'm thinking, oh, this boss is fat. He's telling people what to do. He's telling people, oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. Oh, don't do this. Don't do that. Oh, grab that thing for me. Oh, do that thing for me. You should submit this work on time tomorrow at 10 a.m. Do you think that kind of boss is likable? Do you think you would like that kind of boss? No, right? Nobody likes when someone tells us what to do. When a boss gives you an order, oh, do this, do that, or submit this work tomorrow, you hate that boss more because nobody likes to be told what to do, especially by an authority figure like your boss, your parents, your lecturer. When your parents tell you what to do, when your parents tell you do this, do that, do you love them more or do you hate them more? Most likely you hate them more, right? So instead of giving direct orders, ask questions. Questions is softer. Questions has a softer approach than giving direct orders. And compare that boss to this guy. If you're on the self-improvement world, or if you're older, you probably know this guy. This guy is the leadership expert. This guy is known as the leadership expert. He has spoken to millions of people, influencing, affecting positively to so many people's lives. He has written so many books about communication, leadership, how to influence people, and how to change people's behavior. He's also a friend. Every time he speaks, he always starts his speech with this: "Hi, my name is John, and I am your friend." How can you dislike this guy? Every time he starts his speech, every time he talks in front of millions of people, he always starts it with, "Hi, my name is John, and I am your friend." When he says the word, "I am your friend," it subconsciously makes us think that he is our friend. It makes him more friendlier and receptive. It makes us more receptive to his message. His name is John C. Maxwell. And if you think about his personality, do you think he will give direct orders when he wants someone to do something for him? When he wants someone to change his behavior? Can you imagine John C. Maxwell says, "Do this, do that. Oh, grab me that thing over there. Oh, submit this work tomorrow at 10 a.m. Oh, if you don't do this, I will punish you. If you don't do this, I will cut your salary. If you don't do this, I will fire you." Can you imagine him saying that? If you have watched him for several years, or if you have watched him talk, if you have watched several of his videos, you will see that this guy is like the nicest person on this earth. Like, just look at this picture. He looks nice, generous. When you see him speak, you're gonna think, how can this world has this person? Like how is this person so nice? How is this person so generous and loving and kind? when John C. Maxwell has a student, or he has people that he wants to change, I can just imagine him saying, "Oh, what do you think about this? Oh, like, do you want to hear my opinion on that?" Right? I can just see that John C. Maxwell will give. I can just see John C. Maxwell ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Instead of giving direct orders like do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. I can just imagine him saying, "Oh, do you want to hear my opinion on that? Oh, why do you think that would work? Oh, do you think this would work or that would work? Oh, can I give you a suggestion? Can I give you a request? Can I make you a, can I make you, can I give you a suggestion? Do you want to hear my advice on that? Do you want to hear my opinion on that? Can I make a request to you? What do you think?" When you ask questions like this, it makes the other person feel like they're taking part of the decision, and they are more likely to change their behavior when you do this. When you give orders, you don't give the other person a part of the decision, and they will hate you more because you tell them what to do, and nobody likes to be told what to do. What about this guy? If you have been in the entrepreneurship world, if you have been in the business, entrepreneurship, leadership world, you probably also know this guy. This guy is an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker. He has probably made more money than your ancestors combined. He has probably made more money than your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents, your great great grandparents combined into one. His name is Patrick Bet-David. And I admire this guy. When this guy speaks, it feels like you're the only person in the room with him. It's just one-on-one. When you hear him speak, nothing else matters. It's just you and him and his message. When you hear him speak, you have 20% more motivation. And one quick tip, don't listen to him speak when you're about to go to sleep. Why? Because when you listen to him, when you're about to go to sleep, you will not be able to sleep because you will just get fired up by his ambition, by his drive. His drive and ambition comes out when he speaks. So don't listen to him when you're about to go to sleep, because if you do, you're not going to be able to go to sleep because you're just going to have so much ambition and drive to work at 10 p.m. And in one of his videos, I like this video. So it's a 41-minute video titled "The Untold Truth About Building Wealth." This video is on YouTube on the channel Valuetainment. And in this video, he talks about the power of words. Certain words are powerful, and these words can be used in leadership, in persuasion, in negotiation, in sales, in everything you do. So these are the words and phrases to use more often. Replace should with ought. Stop telling people what they should do and they should not do. It's none of your business. Stop telling people, "Oh, you should do this," or "You should not do this." That's none of your business. Stop telling people what they should do. That's none of your business. Replace it with ought. This is what you ought to do. "Oh, I think you ought to do this." "Oh, you ought to do this because it will improve this aspect of yours." "Oh, you ought to do this because it will improve you on this thing." This is what you ought to do. Ought has an out. Should has no out. Ought has an out. It gives people options. Should has no out. So replace should with ought. Request. Can I make? Hey John, can I make a request to you? Yeah, sure. I would like I would like you to improve on this thing. And conversation ends. Can I make a request? Boom, right? Suggest. Hey John, can I make a suggestion to you? Yeah. I don't think I would put that desk over there. I don't think I would put that table over there. Why? Because you know when people enter, if I were you, hey John, yeah, if I were you, I would do this. But I'm not you. And if I were you, I would do this, right? You put yourself in the other person's shoes. You sympathize with the other person's desire and wants, and it makes the other person also sympathize with your desires and wants. It makes the other person thinks, oh, he respects my opinions. If I were you, I would do this. Do I have your permission to be direct with you? Do I have your permission? Yes. Do I have your permission to be direct with you? Yes. What about it? Yeah, like you said this one thing yesterday, and I didn't really like it, and I appreciate you, but it really offends me. It really bothers me. Oh, I'm so sorry that I offend you. Like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. But moving on, next time, like I hope you don't say that next time. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I will not. I will try not to do it next time. Yeah, yeah, sure. That's okay. You want to go grab a coffee? Yeah. Let's go grab a coffee. Right? Conversation ends. I want you to consider this. I want you to consider this. What do you think about this? Let me get back to you. Most people try to give answers right away. Most people rush everything. Most people try to give answers right away. When you cannot give an answer, just say to them, let me get back to you. Yeah, just give me a couple of days. I will get back to you like on Thursday. It will save you a lot of arguments. Let me make a case to you why you ought to do this. Let me tell you why you ought to do this. Please, thank you. These words have power. These words are powerful. And you can use these words and questions more often to improve your leadership skills. Principle 5, let the other person save face. Let's say you work in a job and you're in a meeting with your coworkers, and one of your coworkers did a terrible job in his project. And instead of giving praise and honest appreciation, the boss gets angry, the boss humiliates the other person, the boss doesn't let your coworker save face. The boss embarrasses your friend, the boss humiliates your friend in front of other people, and the boss just makes your friend looks terrible. And we have the other company. And in the book, Dale Carnegie told a story where there's a woman doing a project in a food department. And she did a terrible job in the project. She messed up, she did something bad, and the project turned out to be terrible. But she couldn't fix the project. She couldn't restart the project because the presentation of the project is tomorrow, and the time in between is not enough to rebuild the project. So before she come into the meeting, she expected the worst. She expected the worst. She expected the boss to be angry at her. She expected the boss to be disappointed and angry and humiliate her in front of her coworkers. And she almost cried, and she didn't want to get embarrassed, and she didn't want the male executives there to say that women cannot handle their emotions. So she handled her emotions. She presented the project, and she expects the boss to blow up and angry and humiliate her in front of other people. That's not what happened. What actually happens is the boss actually give her honest praise and appreciation, and these errors and failures sometimes happens in the company, and the boss actually appreciates her and reassure her and reinforce her that it's okay, and he has hope that she will restart the project and be able to make the project better next time. And the woman comes out from that room with her head up high, and from that moment she makes sure that she never disappoints her boss ever again. Even if we are right and the other person is definitely wrong, we only destroy ego by causing someone to lose face. Most of us have this desire to humiliate and embarrass other people when they're wrong. And most of us do that because of our own egos and insecurities. Most of us try to embarrass other people when they're wrong because we hate them. We try to show our superiority. And if you do that long enough, people don't want to be around you because you're annoying, because you're not great to be around. You're not that fun to be around. So the next time when you have a student, the next time you have a coworker that makes mistakes, that messed up, don't embarrass them in front of other people. That is just not a good thing to do. If you were that person and that person humiliates you in front of other people, you will feel terrible. You will feel ashamed, right? So don't do that to other people. Don't embarrass people in front of other people. It's just not a good thing to do. It destroys the other person's pride and dignity. So the next time when people make mistakes, give them honest praise and appreciation in front of other people so you make them feel important. Principle 6. Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. You will avoid so many arguments with your parents when your parents read a book about parenting, when your parents read this book, How to Influence and Influence People, and know that when their children makes mistakes or when their children makes the slightest improvement, they should praise their children about that. If you're a coach, a mentor, a teacher, instead of giving punishment and criticism, always praise your students about their slightest improvement. Let's say they managed to do the test in 48 minutes instead of 56 minutes. Yeah, it's a slight improvement, but you should praise them so they make better progress. Every time other people make the slightest improvement, no matter how small it is, praise them. The more you praise them, the faster they improve and the more progress that they will make. Everybody likes to be praised, but when praise is specific, it comes across as sincere, not something the other person may be saying just to make one feel good. It's the quote from the book. You probably have a female friend that is beautiful, and every guy in school wants her, and every guy in the city always tries to get into her DMs and try to approach her. And your female friend probably gets 1,000 guys saying to her, "You are beautiful," every single day. If you have a beautiful female friend, I'm guessing she gets the compliment "you're beautiful" every day. 1,000 guys saying that she's beautiful every single day. And the compliment "you are beautiful" is boring. Why? Because it is general, it is not specific. You just say to make the feel, you just say to make her feel good. But what if you compliment her on the things that no one ever notices about her? What if you compliment her on a specific thing that nobody has ever complimented her on? Let's say she has let's say she has a great smile. You can just say to her, "Oh, by the way, you have a great smile." It's more specific than, "Oh, you're beautiful." Or you can just say to her, "Oh, I like talking to you. You are very smart and we have a lot of things in common and you are a very great conversationalist." Imagine saying that to your female friend. Your female friend will think, "Oh, this compliment is different. This guy is different. Every other guy gives me compliments. Oh, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. But this guy compliments me about my intelligence and my ability to hold a conversation with him. I like this guy." Right? Nobody wants insincerity. Nobody wants flattery. You can probably tell some people in your life that gives you compliments, but they give it in a backstabbing way. They they give the compliments to you in an insincere way. You can tell that their compliment is not sincere, and nobody wants that either. So when you give compliments to other people, don't give the compliments just to make the other person feel good. Give the compliments because you genuinely mean it, because you genuinely want to to say it, because you genuinely want to make the other person feel important. Not just to make the other person feel good and trying to make them like you, because people can tell they're not stupid. Principle 7: give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Praise the other person's traits that you want to see more of. This gives the other person a reputation to live up to. You set the standards and the expectations with a sincere praise, and they will be more likely to do it. This is similar to complimenting or praising our women. Instead of telling your women, "Oh, you should go to the gym more," instead of telling her that, like, let's say you have a girlfriend and your girlfriend doesn't go to the gym as often as you do, and you want your girlfriend to go to the gym more often. Instead of saying to her, "Oh, babe, you should go to the gym more often. Oh, babe, you should go to the gym this week." Instead of saying that, praise the other aspect of her that will make her want to go to the gym more. So instead of saying to her, "Oh, you should go to the gym more," you can say, "Oh, I love how you look in your gym clothes." When you say that, she will be more likely to go to the gym more often because she thinks, "Oh, my boyfriend loves me when I wear my gym clothes. Therefore, I will wear my gym clothes more often and I will go to the gym more often." Or let's say your girlfriend doesn't smile that often. Instead of saying to her, "Babe, you should smile more." "Oh, babe, I hate it when you give me that sad face." You can say to her, "I love your smile." That way she will smile more. Or let's say you have a children. Let's say you're parents. You have a son or a daughter. and you would like them to get better grades, you can say to them, oh, if you study more, you will be able to get into this nice university. But if you don't, you're not going to get into university, and you will be a nobody for the rest of your life. And yes, that's dramatic, but that way your son or your daughter has a fine reputation to live up to. My parents give me the reputation of, okay, I have to study in order to get into a good university. Because if I don't, I will be a nobody. That way I have to live up to their expectation, so I please them and make them happy. That's one of the examples. I'm not saying that university is the only way to be successful, but that's one of the ways, right? Or let's say you're a teacher and you have a student who is just cannot listen. He is rebellious, he is complaining. He's like the kid that doesn't want to listen. He never pays attention. The next time you see that student, you can just say to him, let's say his name is Tommy. Hey, Tommy, I know you're a very smart student and I know you're a natural born leader. I would like you to lead this class to be the best class in the entire school by the end of the semester. I want you to lead the class to win this competition better than any other classes. Suddenly, that student who is previously never listens and never pays attention, suddenly he thinks, oh, this teacher gives me a reputation of me being a leader, of me winning and leading my class to win the competition. And what do you think happens? That kid pays attention more. That kid become a better leader and ends up bringing the class to be the best class in that school year. And Dale Carnegie told this story inside the book. So you set the standards and the expectations with a sincere praise to the other person, and they will be more likely to do it. Principle 8, use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Praise and appreciation are more effective than criticism and punishment in changing someone's behavior. Have you ever gone to an animal circus? Have you ever gone to an animal circus and you see the trainer trains the animal, the dog or the animal, and every time the animal makes the slightest progress or accomplishment or improvement, the trainer always gives the animal meat and always praise the animal. Oh, good job, great job, and pat them on the back. It's the same thing. Use encouragement. Praise the slightest improvement. When other people make mistakes, tell them that, oh, your mistake is not that big. It's not that big of a deal. It's actually really small. You can actually do this, right? Let's say you have a son, and you teach him mathematics, and your son makes a slight mistake in number 21. You can say to him, oh, you make a mistake here, and it's not a big deal. It's not a big mistake. You can actually do it like this, right? So make the problems look smaller. Make the problem look smaller so the other person doesn't feel overwhelmed and will be more likely to correct his mistake. Use encouragement. Make the thing seem easy to do. Oh, it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal. It's actually pretty easy. You actually can do it like this. Let the other person know that you have faith in his ability to do it, that he has an undeveloped flair for it, and he will practice until the dawn comes in the window in order to excel. What a beautiful quote from the book. Last but not least, Principle 9, make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. Now, I have talked about these two speakers, John C. Maxwell on the left and Patrick Bet-David on the right. And these two people are famous. They have millions of followers in social media. They speak several times in a year. And what does that mean? That means both of these people get invited to speak in seminars, in conferences, probably a million times a year. They get invited to speak in front of an audience a million times a year. Emails after emails after emails. We would like you to speak here. We would like you to speak in this place. Come and join us. And you know that these two people are very busy. They have children. They have their own business. They have their own people. They have family. They have their own things to take care of. They cannot come to all of these speaking events that people invite them to. So they have to do the hard thing. They have to reject millions of invitations from people that want them to speak at. And you know that when you reject someone, you have to reject them politely and respectfully. Because if you reject people with argument and resentment, and if you reject people directly, then you will ruin so many friendships and relationships. And you never know, you might need that other person in the future, but because you reject unpolitely and disrespectfully, you destroy so many friendship relationships and you create so many arguments. But not with these people. The people in the screen, these people, they have manners. They know how to reject politely and respectfully. And I don't know if this is the truth, but I can just imagine them when they reject the invitations politely and respectfully. I can just imagine them rejecting the invitations politely and respectfully, and then suggesting another speaker. So they probably reject them something along the lines of, "Oh, first of all, thank you for inviting me to this speaking event. However, I have to politely and respectfully reject your offer because I have to do this thing. And in my opinion, this other speaker is better to speak at your conference because this speaker has da 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 da." So after they reject the invitations, they instantly give another speaker, a substitute speaker. So they give a substitute speaker to the person who invites them, so that the person who invites them has no time to feel disappointed. They probably feel disappointed when they reject the invitation, but afterwards, they give a substitute speaker. "Oh, by the way, I know this other speaker that can speak in your conference, and I think they will do a better job than I can. And because this other speaker can do da 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 da," right? They don't give the other person any time to feel unhappy about the refusal. They immediately change the other person's thoughts to some other speaker who could accept the invitation. So the book says the effective leader should keep the following guidelines in mind when it is necessary to change attitudes or behavior. Number one, be sincere. Nobody likes insincerity. Nobody likes flattery. Be sincere. Be honest. Genuinely say the things to the other person with your heart, not with the manipulation intentions, right? Number two, know exactly what it is you want the other person to do. What do I want from the other person. What do I want this person to do? I want this person to do this. It has to be clear. Be empathetic. Ask yourself, what is it the other person really wants? What is the other person's want? Remember, the number one rule in sales, focus on what other people want, not on what you want. The same with this thing. What does this person want? How can I make this other person want to do it? 4, consider the benefits that person will receive from doing what you suggest. Say to them, if you do this, you will get this. If you do this, you will get X. If you do this, you will get da da da. Right? If you do this homework, you will not. If you do this homework today, you will not have to do it tomorrow. The other person will think, oh, if I do the homework today, I will not have to do it tomorrow. Therefore, I can play soccer with my friends tomorrow. Right? Give them the benefit that they will get from doing the thing you suggest. If you do this thing, I will give you this thing. If if you do this thing, you will get this thing, right? And don't lie about it. Never lie. And match those benefits to the other person's wants. Let's say if they do this, they will get this. You have to also think about your demands. Okay, if I say this person will get this one if they do this, can I meet the demand? Let's say I say to my son, hey son, if you do this homework today, you will not have to do it tomorrow, and tomorrow we can play soccer together. When I say we can play soccer together, I have to ask myself, can I actually play soccer together with my son tomorrow at this time? Because if you cannot play soccer with your son tomorrow at this time, then don't say it. You have to match the benefits. You have to meet the demand of the other person's wants. And there's a quote by Dale Carnegie, and this is the last message from the book. Dale Carnegie says, the way to develop self-confidence is to do the thing you fear to do and get a record of successful experiences behind you. This is the fastest trick to be more confident. Let me say this again. This is the fastest way to become more confident, is to develop courage. Courage is the act of feeling fear. You are scared. You are afraid. Courage is the act of feeling scared of doing something and doing that thing anyway. You're scared to cold approach that girl in the gym, you cold approach that girl anyway. You are scared to do the test, you do the test anyway. You are scared to do a job interview tomorrow, you still go into that office and do the job interview anyway. You're scared to do the presentation, you do the presentation anyway. You're scared to quit your 9 to 5 job and to pursue your side hustle, you quit that job and you pursue your side hustle. You're scared to leave your friend group. You're scared to you are scared to leave your toxic friend group to pursue your self-improvement journey and feeling directionless and lonely. You still leave that toxic friend group and pursue and developing yourself. Courage is the act of feeling scared, of feeling fear, and doing the thing anyway. It's the fastest way to develop self-confidence. Why? Because when you cold approach that girl in the gym and you cold approach her anyway, the results doesn't matter. Whether she says yes to you, whether she rejects you, whether she says she's not interested in you, whether she likes you or not, it doesn't matter. You will walk away from that feeling more confident because you say to yourself, I'm proud of myself of cold approaching her because I'm able to conquer my fear and still go up to her and speak to her. And even though she rejects me, I'm proud of myself because I try to do it anyway. I tried. Now I know get rejected. It's okay. I get 50-50 chance. But if I don't approach her, then I don't know whether she will reject me or like me. But because I already tried, now I know. But if you don't try, you never know. You walk away feeling better about yourself. Or let's say you're about to do a presentation in front of your class. You're scared. You're scared speaking in front of public, but you do it anyway. You walk away thinking you come out of class thinking, damn, I'm proud of myself. I'm scared, but I managed to do the presentation well, and I managed to give my message in like amazingly. I'm proud of myself. When you have cold approached 10 girls in the last month, when you have spoken 10 times in front of public in the last month, when you speak to strangers when you're scared, but you speak to them anyway, you develop self-confidence. You become proud of yourself. And you become more confident because not many people are willing to do that. Not many people are brave enough to cold approach that girl in the gym. Not many people are brave enough to speak to strangers. Not many people can speak in front of public. That's when you become more confident. That's how you become more confident. When you can do the 1%, when you do the 1%, that 99% of people don't want to do. When you do the 1% that 99% of people don't do, you become more confident because you can say to yourself, yes, I'm better than 99% of people because I managed to do the 1% of things that 99% of people don't do. People wake up late. People wake up at 9 a.m. I wake up at 5:30. We always make fun of the 5 a.m. CEO morning routine. But it's the fact. Not many people wake up at 5:30 a.m. They wake up late, they're sleep deprived, they wake up late at 9, 10 a.m. Whereas you wake up at 5:30 a.m. You manage to finish your work when other people are still asleep. When other people wake up, you already finish your work. That's how you develop self-confidence. When you can say, I go to the gym, 99% of people don't go to the gym, I'm better. I wake up at 5 a.m., other people wake up at 9 a.m., I am better. That's how you develop self-confidence. And be careful not to be arrogant with this. Be careful not to be arrogant and egotistical with this. But deep down in your heart, you can say, yeah, I'm confident because I'm able to wake up earlier than you do. I'm able to speak I'm able to speak to that girl, and you cannot speak to her because you're too scared. So next step that you can do. Is that when you want to correct someone's behavior, follow this order, follow these steps. 1, begin with praise and honest appreciation. Oh, it's great job that you have done this. Oh, great job. Oh, thank you. And then change the word but to and. And when you do this thing, and when you change this thing to that thing, and then talk about your own mistakes first. You can, oh, thank you for doing this. Oh, you have done a great job on this thing. And it would be better when you do this thing because I used to do this mistake. And I don't want you to repeat the same mistake that I did. So, in my opinion, it would be better for you to do this and give your advice and feedback. It would be better for you to do this and this, right? Follow these steps. Whenever you want to correct someone's behavior, begin with praise and honest appreciation. Change the word but to and. Talk about your own mistakes first. Give your advice and feedback. That's the order, the steps that you want to do when you want to correct someone's behavior. And I want you to use these words and phrases more often. Replace should with ought. Stop telling people what they should do. That's none of your business. Say to them, this is what you ought to do. You ought to do this. Request. Can I make a request? Suggest. Can I make a suggestion to you? If I were you, I would do this. But I'm not you. But if I were you, I would do . Do I have your permission to be direct with you? Do you want to hear my opinion on that? I want you to consider this. I want you to think about this. What do you think about this? Why do you think that would work? Let me get back to you. I will think about it and I will get back to you. It will avoid so many arguments. Let me make a case to you why you ought to do this. Let me tell you why you should do this. You should do this because you da 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 da. Please, thank you. These words are powerful. Use these words more often, and you will increase your leadership skills. You will improve your leadership skills immeasurably. And last but not least, do everything sincerely. Nobody likes flattery. Nobody likes insincerity. Do everything sincerely with your heart. Because doing something to try to get something out of a person will not do you any good. So that's part 4, be a leader. How to change people's behavior and attitudes without arousing resentment and arguments. Principle 1, begin with praise and honest appreciation. Principle 2, call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Principle 3, talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Principle 4, ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Principle 5, let the other person save face. Principle 6, praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Be hearty in your probation and lavish in your praise. Principle 7, give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Principle 8, use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Principle 9, make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. And that is the summary of the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And you might be wondering, why do you put so much time and effort and work into summarizing this one book? And let me tell you a story. 2 years ago, it's my first year in university. I'm going to make so much friends. I'm going to have so much fun. I will have a great time. That's what I thought. That's not actually what happened. I didn't relate to anyone. I couldn't connect with anyone. I didn't have any friends. I couldn't connect with anyone because my friends and I have different beliefs. We have different mindsets. We have different lifestyles. We have different habits. And I just couldn't connect with them. I end up being lonely and I end up being depressed and doing so many bad habits. That's the thing. If you want to quit bad habits, don't try to quit the bad habits. Improve your mental health and you will naturally stop doing those bad habits. But that's a side note. I became very lonely and I started looking for solutions. That's the thing. You have to be proactive. When you face problems, I look out for the solutions. Then I started searching on YouTube, how to make friends. Then I watched this one video from this one YouTuber and he recommends me to read this book. And I tried to search this book online, try to get it free, and I managed to get the book. When I started reading this book, I actually didn't really understand what the book says because the book is published around 1936 and Dale Carnegie uses very advanced English words and vocabulary and grammar. And English is not my first language, as you can see. Therefore, when I first read the book, I'm like, I don't understand what he says. But I don't give up. I keep learning. I keep trying to learn. I keep trying to understand the book. And every time I have a 1 hour or 2 hour class breaks, whenever I have free time, whenever I have in between class breaks, I will just go to the library and read this book on my laptop alone. And I remember after that, I used to wake up in the morning, I read one chapter from the book. And after I finish reading one chapter from this book, I go out and I try that principle in real life. And yeah, most of the times I fail, but when I make progress, when I succeed in applying the principles from the book in real life, I feel proud of myself. And the more I read this book, the more it improves my life. The more I read this book, the better my life gets. The more I read this book, the more my life improves. And fast forward a year from that moment, I managed to present this book in front of my class. So I did a presentation, and the presentation topic is about magic words, the words that you can use that contains magic, that can influence other people, that contains magic. And I'm thinking, well, it it connects, it has a connection with this book. And I end up talking about this book in my class, and I was proud of myself. I was so fulfilled and happy at that moment. And here I am right now, summarizing the whole book to you. And this is the last part of the book, and I will miss recording these videos because I really love what I do. And this book changed my life. And before I read this book, I was lonely. I couldn't talk to anyone. I couldn't connect with people. I was awkward. I couldn't talk to girls. I I was doing so many bad habits. It's just terrible. And since I read this book, the rest is history. Since I read this book, this is the amount of progress that I've made. On the top left picture there, I was trying so many new cafes and restaurants in my cities. And I went into this one cafe, and then I thought to myself, what if I just talk to the owner? And my mind, and I never actually think about that. What if I just actually meet the owner? I ask the waitress, and they bring me the owner, and I'm 20 years old. The owner of the cafe is 22 years old. That's how young he is. He is the CEO and the chairman of his own cafe. And we have a really nice conversation, and we take a picture, and we have a really nice conversation. I haven't talked to him for a couple of months now, but it's a really nice conversation that we had there. Then then the right picture is me, there's the guy in the red shirt and the guy in the blue shirt. It's the same case. I explore new cafes and restaurants, and I spoke to them because they look like they're in my age. They look like they're also in their 20s. I spoke to them. We actually have a lot of things in common. We also read books. We improve ourselves. They're actually around like 5 years older than me, and we actually have a nice conversation, have a cup of coffee, and we take a picture together. And I actually go to the gym with this person right here. So every couple of days, I will meet this guy in the gym, and we talk, and we have a really nice conversation. And on the bottom left is the same thing. I explore. I actually go to the mall bookstore. I saw these two guys looking for a book, searching for books, and I just asked them. "Oh, do you read books?" And then the rest is history. We have a really nice conversation, and I end up buying two books for myself as well. And the picture next to it is me and that one girl, that guy with the peace sign, and the girl in the bottom left there. And those are the people that I love. Those people I love. I actually make a podcast in my university with those people, and we did the podcast, and then we ate together. We have a good time. And this is the most recent ones. So I went to the gym. I did a leg workout. Then a person asked me to join. Oh, can I join? And then I started a conversation with him, and I become great friends with him. Sometimes, sometimes we grab a cup. We grab a cup. We grab a cup of coffee together sometimes, and then we go to the gym and we hit a really great workout together. And thanks to this book, I've managed to build friendships and relationships that I have never thought possible before. Because before, especially in the pandemic, I was spending most of my time alone in my room, consuming content in social media. And fast forward 4 years later, here I am making friends, making friendship relationships that I love. And I'm grateful that I've made a lot of progress. I'm grateful that I've improved a lot. And I hope that this book summaries really help you. I summarized this book because this book changed my life. This book improves my life. This book gives me a new life from the lonely, awkward kid to a social, friendly, and kind person. If this book changed my life, I'm sure that this book will change yours too. So, my promise to you, I've said that I will teach you how to become a better leader so people want to follow you. I've covered the 9 principles of leadership from this book, and I hope you become a better leader that people want to follow. I hope you find this video helpful and valuable. I hope you learned something, and this book changed my life, and I hope it will change yours too. Oh no, I'm sure it will change yours too. Subscribe right now to get notified when I upload more videos like this one. And in the next couple of weeks, I will actually have a full exams week of my university. So I will probably record shorter videos, and I'm sure that I will make these long full guides videos better next time. Bye bye.